How has fatherhood changed you?
Oh man, I feel like I just got asked this question too, like one of my friends or something. I would say, just looking at things differently. A different perspective on how I'm gonna carry things, and I gotta be an example, for my daughter. So something like that.
Jonathan, there you go.
So last year you came back, you had added a Dirk jump shot. What have you added this year?
I keep working what I was doing it. I was shooting door shot, and I'm better on it now, I feel like. And I do another one leg shot like Jokic does now. I'm comfortable with that. And I think, yeah, you're going to see, Jonathan.
I'll say, I just spent a lot of time with vets. I really went up to California. That was really my first off season where I kind of trained, with Chris Johnson and Dash. So, with, the certain guys or like Jaylen Brown where, he's, telling me he sees a lot of, myself, himself in my game. So, kind of model my game after him. Like I went to the MBPA in Malaga, Spain this summer. Spent a lot of time out there with some vets, and they taught me a lot of things about the league in general, how to handle it, and just the ups and downs where it comes with. That's really it. How just going to handle it at the end of the day.
As much time as you've missed the last
Sorry,
couple
mate.
years.
Yeah.
How hard has it been to miss as much time as you've missed the last couple of years?
How hard? Like what? Like emotionally? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. Feels bad, dude. Yeah, it feels bad. But it's okay. It's just one of those joints, bro. It happens, and you kind of just got to rewire your brain a little bit. Because typically, like you play, there's like a performance indicator, like you win or lose. You get that sort of system, but you kind of have to redo it and focus on the small wins, especially with the rehab process. Like you have to small wins, bro. You have to really reel it back in. Yeah.
Right here, Coach. What are expectations for Reed Sheppard this year?
Just to see him get accustomed to the NBA game, continue on the trajectory that he's on as a player, which is always taking really good leaps from high school to college and college to summer league, and just being in the gym with our guys. So for him, it's really learning the NBA game, similar to the rookies coming in last year. He'll be mentored by a lot of good veterans, and Fred, a guy that he can kind of emulate some of the things he does there. So. The goal for him is to be comfortable and impact the game with his shooting, his IQ, and his toughness, and the things he brings to the table. So, we're not talking about roles or defining anything right now. He'll kind of work his way through that, but we do have a lot of a high upside for him.
Coach, prior to being drafted, Amen Thompson was usually a lead guard, primary facilitator for his team. And then last season, we saw him kind of deployed, especially in the latter half of the season, kind of offensively as the center, right? Setting a lot of screens, playing out of the dunker spot. What do you envision as his kind of role moving forward long term with this team?
Yeah, for him, I think he's a guy that, pretty much checks every box. If anything happens injury-wise, you can plug him into any position. And, I think he really learned to play off the ball some last year, which will only benefit him and our team going forward. But he's a guy that's great with the ball in his hands, great with the pace and the things that he does naturally. But like I said, teaching him that, it was due to necessity. Obviously, Alpi goes out, and you can plug him into the 4 or 5 spot with Jabari out there. And, him being injured early, Aaron and Fred and some of those guys and Jalen were handling a lot more by the time he came back. And so for us, the flexibility and his versatility is great. I envision him being able to do everything, play on and off the ball, impact the game, obviously defensively and offensively in different ways. But the pace that he plays with and getting out in the open court is great when he has the ball off a rebound. But he also played in the dunker, and he's a great offensive rebounder. He's a great finisher around the rim, and he found the pocket and saw how good he did there once he learned to screen and roll a little bit. So that versatility is going to open up a lot of things for us. And if anything happens to happen as far as injuries, you can plug him in 1 through 5.
To follow up on Jeff's question, understanding you're happy to do whatever's asked, whatever position, what do you enjoy the most? If pick and roll, dunker spot, point guard, what you like?
I love the ball in my hands, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So it's just what can I do next to help the team. We got so many good ball handlers, so many good off-ball players. You really put me anywhere.
To where you want to be. Do you feel like your younger core gets that going into this year?
Yeah, they better. I mean, we went through it last year. So, I mean, outside of maybe Reed, who hasn't played in the NBA yet, everybody else was here. There's no more really excuses on youth or inexperience. I mean, we saw it. Now you still have to go through it and you still have to do it. Obviously, you still have to perform. But I think as a group, we all can confidently say, like, we kind of know what it takes a little bit more. And you continue to just, work on that every single day and keep that in mind when you're playing, when you're practicing, when things get tough. And, I think we're going to have a good year.
Has it been to be able to basically come back intact? And what have you noticed has been maybe the major difference between like last off-season and this off-season for you guys?
Yeah, I think this is one of the lowest roster turnovers that I've had in my career. So pretty much bringing everybody back and adding Steven and adding Reed, which is great. And I think that just it maybe shortens some learning curves. I just remember looking back to training camp last year, how much how slow we had to go in terms of teaching and putting things in. I think that our starting point is a little bit farther along this year, so we can speed that up and get to certain things quicker. We weren't getting to very detailed, complicated stuff until very late in the season last year. So I think that we can pick up a little bit where we left off, get some refreshers. I'm sure Coach has got his plans for us. But me personally, coming in this year has been a full 180 because I was coming into a new situation, a new city, a new home, moving my family, learning everybody's faces, teammates. So this year I feel like just focus on my training and coming in ready to play. I think it's going to be a huge difference for me.
Good. How you doing?
How beneficial do you think the continuity that you guys have will be in terms of growth this season for you guys?
I think it's real important. Some of these guys, Alpi, Jaylen, I've been with for 2 years now, going on to my third. So it's like we know each other. We know what to expect out of each other. We know how to talk to each other. And just spending a whole year with Fred, Jeff, Dylan, new teammates. It's just like we have that understanding that we can talk to each other. We have that understanding that what is expected out of each other on a nightly basis. We've seen each other's best. We've seen each other when we're not okay. We've seen each other when we're not playing up to our potential. So we know what to expect out of each other, and when we don't see that, we can hold each other accountable. So I feel like that's just so important, and I feel like we got that. Off the court, on the court, we love each other, so it's cool.
To connect to some of these younger players.
Yeah, I understand the question. I'm trying to figure out how to answer it. I find ways. For me, it's about just learning the person. I'm not trying to like what they like. I'm not trying to do what they do. For me, it's about understanding the person in general. I want to know, things about you, where you come from, who's here, the simple things, who you're here with, more about them personally to understand them as a person. I don't really, outside of that, I don't try to, get into their world. And when it comes to basketball, it's trying to figure out the things that they like on the court and how it can benefit us as a team. And when we're on together, how I can understand them as a player to put them in good spots to be successful. And throughout the years, you learn those ways and how to connect with guys. And, I've been implementing those tools like I've been preaching on how I can connect with guys. And it's been successful. I think they like me. I think we're cool, So, but it's fun. It's fun, man. It's, learning, what guys like, their tendencies, what they're trying to accomplish throughout their career. And, obviously everybody want to be an all-star. Everybody want to, have goals. But, my job as a vet is to help them become professionals and help them learn how to have longevity. And that's what I was taught, and that's how I'm at this point. It's not by me just getting here. I've learned from some key vets that I had, Kevin Garnett, Vince Carter, who I had the opportunity to play with. They taught me a lot, and now it's my opportunity to give that knowledge and pass it down.
That as a template that maybe
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's always funny that I get used as a draft comp now as an undrafted guy, but yeah, I see a lot of similarities in just terms of pace and poise and his reads, and you saw it really come out in summer league for a young kid who hadn't really played, at this level, for him to dominate the way that he did. So yeah, he's already reached out. We've been connecting. It'll be easier now that we're here every day, and he'll be right under my wing, and I'll be able to show him. And he has a huge, head start on me. I wasn't that good at 19. It took me a little longer to get there. So to have him here in this spot with the shooting, probably a little bit more athletic than I am. I don't know if he's taller yet. We gotta see. We gotta stand next to each other. But yeah, I'm excited to have him next to me and have another guy with similarities and mindset more than anything, and we'll lean on each other, and I'll use him to get better, and he'll use me to get better, and it's my job to speed up his development process.
Reed, Fred was asked earlier about kind of the ability to mentor you, the similarities between your two games. I know you've been asked a few different times now about the ability to play, alongside him, and that there are similarities between both of you. Kind of what's the early stage of that relationship like, just the practices that you guys have had, the times that you guys have been able to share the floor together, and how do you envision it kind of going forward?
Yeah, anytime we're on the floor together, he talks to me the whole time, whether it's to talk more, communicate, or teaching me little things that he does really good. So I think that's what it's going to be all year. I think we'll have a really good relationship, and I think he's going to be someone that I can trust to tell me the right thing and not just what I want to hear, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think he's gonna say that, and I'm gonna be comfortable learning that from him because he's won championships. He's been in the NBA a long time. He obviously knows what he's doing and knows how to stay around it, and he's a winner. So I'm really excited for that relationship.
Thank you, Reed.
Yeah, thank you.
You played with some really elite guards previously in your career, Russell Westbrook, John Morant. Do you see any similarities in how they play the game to a guy like Jalen Green, and how do you think your skill set on the court can kind of help him the same way you help those guys?
Yeah, you'll make comparisons between previous guards, like good guards, like superstar guards type thing, and yeah, I mean, it's each of them, because even Ja and Russ is very different how they play, very, very different. To the eye, maybe like the general public, it's probably not, because a lot of it's highlighted through like the athleticism, like they jump high, and then that's pretty much it. How they approach the game, their body language, how they come off like screen, say like this, very, very different. Different pace, different setups, and all that. So each player is very different. I have to figure that out with Jaylen, and see what that is. For any other guards, it's not just like Russ and any guards that I work with, I have to figure out what's the best way that I could put them, like how can I help them the best, right? Because that's what the play requires, So we'll figure all that stuff out, but yeah, just hit some dudes, I guess, bro, on the screens.
Where has your growth been as a player, and how much different do you feel now going into this year?
My growth has been something that I'm really happy about. You know what I'm saying? From my rookie year to sophomore year, just the comfortness I have. You know what I'm saying? The confidence. You know what I mean? Like going into each season, I feel more good, as like more confident, more like I belong, more sure about myself. You know what I'm saying? So just this offseason, I was real confident on what I knew what I need to work on. I was ready for the next season. It's like I just was ready to start fresh and start from the ground up, and just know that we're a team that's competing in this league, and it's time to win some games, and I'm gonna be a big part of that. So it's just like I'm just excited, man. Like I've been working my butt off all summer, working my butt off all my life to put myself in positions where I can compete in the best league in the world. So I'm ready for it. I want to operate more like around the basket. You know what I'm saying? I want to not settle as much, get to the rim more, get to the free throw line more. I feel like that'll open my game up to whole different areas. You know what I'm saying? People know I'm a shooter. People know I can shoot. So if they're worried about the drive too, I feel like it'll just open so much more up for me, open so much more up for my teammates. So that's why I've been working on getting stronger a lot, playing lower so I can attack the rim, can get to the rim, and just you know what I'm saying, play stronger, get to the free throw line, and scoring that way too.